Girlfriend 33F stop taking birth control behind my 31M back. What are my options? Myself, 31M, and girlfriend, 33F, have been together for about 8 months, living together for about 3. She has one previous child with her ex who is 6 and spends about 50% time with us. We have talked about having kids and I'm open to it if we had a plan in place and were otherwise living comfortably as opposed to drowning paycheck to paycheck. Recently she found out her ex's girlfriend is pregnant with a second child. She cried for days about how, it's not fair, that was supposed to be me, etc. Less than a month later she is pregnant. She has since admitted to me that she stopped taking her birth control without telling me, but has doubled down and now denies that to be the truth. I'm at a total loss on how to proceed here. I'm not saying I'm totally not at fault here. It obviously takes 2 people to create a baby, but she tricked me, I feel, baby-trapped? I don't really want a child in my life right now. After years of struggling my business is just starting to get traction and I don't want to get yanked back down. Not only that, how can I not resent this child and her mother when I literally feel tricked into this pregnancy? She stopped taking birth control without telling me, and actively encouraged me to finish inside, citing that she was on birth control. That's a massive breach of trust. I don't think she's thought it out. I don't see any way she can afford a second child as she is barely getting past with the expenses of her first, but I guess that's none of my business. I guess I just don't know how to proceed. I don't want to co-parent with someone who actively lied and tricked me into impregnating her. I don't want to parent a child I might grow to resent. I'm a child of this kind of situation myself. On the other hand, if I choose not to be a part of this kid's life, I'm labeled a deadbeat forever. This will not only affect my own sense of worth but affect all my future relationships, etc. IDK how I would tell my parents, future partners, the list goes on and on. This is considered coercive reproduction, and lying about using protection during sex is rape. Talk to a lawyer who specializes in helping male victims of abuse and assault, and find out if you can file charges. Break up with her because she is a manipulative liar, and if you stay it will only get worse. But unfortunately you will still have to provide for the child. She used you, bro. Big time. She only seems to care about her ex only. Only did it because her ex got pregnant. And she lied to you. Yikes. That's the worst way to begin anything only 8 months in. Honestly, I get a DNA test too, just to be safe. She seems to have way too many feelings for her ex, and to be honest, who knows if they messed around behind your back. Here's the list of mistakes you made. 1. You laid the burden of birth control fully on her. With that you gave up the chance to stop this from happening. 2. You most obviously ignored all the red flags that she is still emotionally invested in her ex. You are only a stand-in, and if she gets the chance to get back with him, you will dump in no time. What should you do? Yeah, you have dealt yourself a seriously bad hand right now. If I were you, I would go for the co-parenting route with 50-50 custody. And just to make sure, this includes leaving her because she obviously still in love with her ex. Run. Run as fast as you can. Baby trap is a serious issue. You can still take part in your kid's life, but you don't have to take part in her life. Also, paternity test the FK out of this kid. She got your ass for 18 years. How'd I, 38M, convince my wife, 35F, that it's over? Married 10 years together, about 13. We've had problems for years, which includes her being caught sexting and caught again on dating apps and adult chatting apps. She has some mental health issue and unresolved truant, which is used as the main excuse for her behavior. On top of all that, we have basically no sex life, and when we do have sex it's not good cause it's clear she's just doing it to tick a box. I final said enough is enough and told her we need to separate, and she's now desperate to avoid it and has made a number of positive changes of the last little while. However, I continue to feel like it's too late. Too much bad history, too much lying, too much manipulation. Any tips on how to convince a spouse to amicably separate? I understand that I can just get a lawyer and drop a bomb, but I'm looking to avoid that if I can. Usually you can't, just lawyer up and get it done. You don't, you just hire an attorney and fucking leave. While an amicable separation is always the goal, it's important to remember that it's not always possible. Ultimately, it may come down to simply packing bags and having an attorney file papers. If you're sure that it's over, then you need to go ahead and take action to end things so you can both begin the process of moving on with your lives. Stop telling her you're leaving. You've already said it. She knows. Anything beyond that is just going to give her the opening to manipulate you into taking her back. Make a plan, contact a lawyer, find somewhere to go. Move out with your most important things as fast as you can when you have a move-in date while she's at work, and have all further communication go through a lawyer. Leave her immediately. Any tips on how to convince a spouse to amicably separate? You're not going to convince her to amicably accept a substantial detriment to her living conditions. She doesn't want to lose your support. You're not going to talk her into being okay with it. You're having a contested divorce. You just need to proceed on that basis. My 39F boyfriend's 35M hygiene is bad. What can I do? I've been with my boyfriend for 10 months now and we moved into an apartment together back in September. My boyfriend is a physical therapist waiting for Medicare to overturn this clinical error his old boss made 2 years ago. He's depressed. Anyways, we don't make out like we used to because his breath is horrible. He thinks just using mouthwash after smoking weed would help. And it doesn't. I've noticed since living with him he doesn't shower as much, and when we make love I just feel grossed out by how bad his hair smells. Today he wanted me to jerk him off and I was half asleep. Jerking him off takes a long time and he got upset with me. Said I don't give him good oral anymore like I used to when he was living at home, which was insulting to me. Last time I gave him oral, which was a few weeks ago, it was disgusting. His dick smelled and tasted horrible. It was also insulting to me that my mom passed on 11 quarters and it's been really affecting me. I said him I'm not turned on because his hygiene is going downhill, which is true. And that turned into him not really talking to me all day. I don't know what to do. Edit. Thank you to everyone's input. I'm going to have a chat with him tonight about this. I'm going to say if you want more sex, oral you need to shower, that's simple, or that's it. Nothing worse than a gross physical therapist. First off, I am sorry for the loss of your mother. Secondly, his lack of hygiene is not only disgusting, but potentially it can have an adverse effect on you too. UTIs are not pleasant and are easily avoided. Personally, I wouldn't be facilitating any personal contact until he sorts that out. I think after 6/7 of a month of dating, moving in together may have been somewhat premature. Maybe it's time to rethink the whole thing. Sometimes it is best to be honest. Tell him that if you want sex more regularly, then hygiene is a must. Not being horrible, but there is nothing worse than bad hygiene. It's not hard to make an effort. Leave him? He's a grown man and the bar is in hell. You will feel better single. Putting a 1 pound in a box for every time the answer to these is, have you tried talking to them? Relationship of 10 months and you are dealing with this? Seriously? I don't understand why you will be accepting of such unhygienic man and even putting your health at risk by giving him orals. Do you not love yourself? Do you not care for yourself? Ask yourself this question and do with the answer what you please. If you are the smelly one with bad hygiene, will he give you orals? Will he still be with you? If your answer is no, then walk away from him. My 19F boyfriend 19M found out he has a baby. How would you proceed? We have been together since we were 15. At 18 I broke up with him due to some circumstances. He ended up sleeping with this girl. From what I know about pregnancy and the timeline that he gave me, it was a very slim chance the baby was his. I told him to do whatever he feels was right. I would support him no matter what. Now he got a paternity test done. He is the father. I've lived with him and his family since we were 16. I have nowhere to go. I don't think I can be a stepmom at 19. The part that I don't understand is that he said he used a condom. Now I know condoms aren't 100% effective, but it just feels weird to me. He's mad at me because I said I don't know if I can do this with him. I want to be with him. I love him, but this wasn't what my future looked like. You're gonna support him no matter what? Girl, not worth it at all. You're 19, this is your get out of jail card. Don't get stuck. Do not sign up to this at 19. You thought initially you could handle it, but after some thought and time you're recognizing that you can't. That's fair. Really, you need to prioritize time for yourself here to really think if you should continue this relationship. You will be respecting your own time and your partner's. If it ends, it ends. Condoms, well yay, they aren't fully 100% effective. The thing is, what is going back in time and solving this issue whether he used one or not going to do? What's in front of you is that he has a kid and you're already fighting whether to stay or go. Don't get tucked in at 19 raising someone else's kid. Also, you're not in any position to support a child if you're both with his parents with nowhere to go. Shows how irresponsible he is. Why are you living with him and his family? You shouldn't be dealing with any of this at your age. I'm also concerned that you were in a sexual relationship at 15, then move in with him at 16. That's bizarre, and if my son brought a girl home at 16, I think I'd have a heart attack. I wouldn't sanction that under my roof. Can I ask why you live with him and his family? Do you have family, extended family or friends you can stay with? Where did you stay when you broke up at 18?